Trending. What's happening in the world of BJJ and MMA? 10 minutes. Let's go. Straight out the gate. One of the biggest drug upsets, reveals, busts in BJJ history. Let's name them. They will be named.
This is the biggest drug bust since El Chapo. That's what I'm going to go out and say.
Massive. 5 high-level jiu-jitsu athletes. Igor Nascimento, Yonatas Gracie.
Fuck, and he looked so good at that Who's Number One because he was juiced to the gills.
Cyborg, Roberto Abreu, of course.
A head that size can only be from growth hormone.
Of course. Jose Cardozo, and then, guess it, Wagner Rocha. Shock horror. Who wouldn't be tested. Refused to.
Well, the fucking classic thing was that on the podium for that event, the first and second place were empty.
Yeah.
It was just the 2 third-place winners that were present
just
in the
bailed.
photographs, right?
Yeah.
And they all said apparently, I had to bail because we had to get our flights.
Sure.
When it was like, if you make it to the podium, you get tested at that point, right?
Yeah, because and it's funny, Craig said this too, number 2 is not safe anymore. Not that he's done any IBJJF events, but he's like, they used to only test who came first.
Yeah.
But now they're testing who came second as well.
Yeah.
And it was out of competition testing. That's why all these guys got pinged. 3-year ineligibility status.
Right.
So, look, I don't think it actually hurts them that much because they're not really doing IBJJF.
You would say that they knew it was coming.
Yeah,
And that
it's
they
a long
fucking
time coming.
doubled down on the dosage because they're like, I'm going out on top. Yuck.
Yeah, and we got ADCC coming up, so we need to get ready for that.
And I mean, ADCC still don't care, right? Still
No,
do
they're
it if
not
you
testing.
want. Yeah, sick.
So, man, that's
Matt, love it. Keep that same energy.
Yeah,
Mo.
we want that pride energy. We want that Vanderlei Silva fucking circa 2000 energy. So that's huge. I think we should see more of that because I think it's definitely understated. There's so many people out there still using and not getting tested.
I think we'll see more or less. And my case for less is that perhaps they go, fuck, we're crushing all the
Destroying the sport.
Yeah, like
no one left.
It's like when they took drugs out of bodybuilding and bodybuilding shows plummeted because it was boring. They were all little.
We've got Mikey Musumeci versus no one.
Mikey wins by default.
Okay, we're going to jump across now. Polaris just did their first ever female Grand Prix, and there was a bit of an upset. Elizabeth Clay came in, toe-hold Fionn Davies, who I think Fionn might have been like a favourite.
She'd have to be, right? Last year's ADCC when he said world champ gi and no gi.
Yep. And silver medalist as well as gold medalist. Like, she's done it all.
Did Elizabeth Clay play second in ADC or was she...
No, she I think she might have got bronze.
Okay.
Because in the final, she fought Amy Campo.
Only bronze.
Well, no.
No, of course.
Elizabeth Clay.
Dude, I remember
for a long
it was
time.
the two matches going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was like, fucking hell. Like, I don't know which one to watch.
What do you watch?
You're watching Fionn.
Yeah.
But that was like torn as a spectator.
Elizabeth Clay beats Amy Campo via sweep. So some people are like,
Jiu-jitsu.
look, it wasn't a boring match because Amy Campo, ADCC champion, she gave the great speech when she beat Gabby Garcia in the final.
Right on.
Right.
Yeah.
But both of them is very closely, Amy Campo pressing on top, Clay underneath, going for leg locks, went for a leg lock, didn't hit it and came up on the sweep right at the death, wins on that. So it was really great. Polaris copped a lot of heat for not giving women's jiu-jitsu enough attention.
Yeah, so got to give them props for that because they did cop heat for not having any females on their cards. I remember Fionn made that post, which we spoke about some time ago. And I think it's a big deal for an organisation to go, yeah, fair enough, we'll take that feedback on board and here's what we're doing about it. And versus what we've seen with other sort of smaller organisations where they're like, they try to defend their position and be like, no, like we don't have female divisions because of X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, just change what you do.
Just do it. And these matches were
good on you guys.
These matches were exciting. It was mad. Also, Owen Livesley just taking down Chris Weidman. I mean, Chris Weidman had some...
He got a couple too.
He did, but man, Owen Livesley is a judo black belt, just a tank.
Nugget.
And
he's thicker than me, I'd say.
Bro, maybe. But he's shorter. Shorter than me even. Now, imagine.
Poor guy.
Here's the realness. This happened in this last week. This is a shock. We had mentioned about training at other gyms, paying to train there, all this stuff. Listener of the pod, friend of ours, we won't name him. He went to his coach. He's trained at this gym for almost 5 years, and he just wanted to do the right thing and said, hey, I'm going to go train at this other gym. is that cool?
Like, still be here.
Yeah,
I just want to go and
this
visit
is my
this other
team.
spot.
Yeah, I want to go train there. And the coach had said to him, are you going to pay to be there? Like, you're going to pay to train there? He said, yeah, of course. Like, that's the right thing to do. He's like, get out. Booted him from the gym.
Wow.
He's a blue belt. He's been training there for almost 5 years. Should be coming up on his purple. Flicked him. Don't come back.
Dang.
That's brutal,
This
man.
is in Australia?
This is in Australia.
That's so savage. What? So the coach was offended because the guy is going to
you're
pay
going to
for
pay
a drop-in
two
at
memberships? Or
Right.
what do you, like your loyalty?
Yeah.
You're not loyal to me. And it's like, dude. And his contention was, well, I'm going to train there. I might learn stuff from there, which helps our gym get better. Nah, get out. That's wrong. I'm going to say right now, this is such a limited mindset that actually I think in a way it's good that he gets out now.
Yeah, fucking oath. That guy doesn't deserve to have a business.
No.
It's total scarcity mindset, right?
Yeah.
It's like I got to clutch onto everything because there's not enough of anything around.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, fucking be cool, and your boy is going to stay here and train there and bring cool shit back.
Yeah.
And also be really stoked because you're a cool coach, and like there's so much benefit to just being cool with that stuff.
Yeah, it's so strange to me. And he was actually messaging with me like, man, I'm so upset. All my friends are there. You know, we've talked about this. He had a huge sense of loss. And I said, yeah, man, I totally understand that. Like, that makes sense. It's understandable. But also, fuck that guy. That is the worst attitude someone could have to you. Imagine that.
Sounds like time for a mass exodus from that academy.
Well, I think it could happen.
Just
right?
saying, it's often something like that, and then other people go, yeah, this guy's a dick. You
Yeah,
know?
why are we putting up with this?
Yeah.
And so, man, I wanted to bring that up because you might be out there thinking a similar vibe, similar thought, but maybe being a little bit scared because you're like, I don't want to lose my mates, I don't want to whatever. But you never know. You might be the, you might be the straw that breaks the camel's back to go, you know what? Everyone needs to get out of here.
Yeah, I think there's like, just to be very clear about that you are not indebted to anybody, and you got to do what you need to do to make your jiu-jitsu work and what's enjoyable for you. And you are paying a membership at your academy, and so by virtue of that, you pay for what you get. You have no obligation to them outside of that.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, sure, if you were training there for free, then maybe there's some kind of thing where it's like, well, the coach is giving you something, but no, you're paying for that service. So like, that's kind of just, that's abusive of the relationship.
Yeah, and look, I think there was a lot of trust there, and he was literally trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
He was almost asking for permission from his coach because he felt like he was doing the wrong thing by going and training there and not talking to his coach about it.
Yeah.
And it's resulted in him getting kicked out.
Wow.
That's quite ridiculous.
Blessing in disguise.
Yes, indeed. I think
My
he's
son.
dodged a bullet. I want to give him props for trying to do the right thing, and I think ultimately it'll lead to a better outcome for him.
I feel that.
Now, quickly, Joe, tell me.
Quickly put out a post yesterday. So I was the team rest round guy. Just wanted to let you update on that.
Imagine.
I am now team rest round, team rest week, Joey. And this is relevant to an Instagram post I put out where I was talking about how I had a neck injury, took a week off training. Neck feels great. I mean, it's still a bit stiff, but I was just talking about how sometimes one step back can be two steps forward, and I put that out. But what was very interesting, the feedback on this post was quite huge. It resonated with a lot of folks, and this interesting point came up from quite a few people, which was whenever I take a week off or a little chunk of time off from jiu-jitsu, my training sessions when I come back are some of the, like, I have the best clarity and awareness while I'm training. And I'm like, man, that's so interesting. And it's almost like when you take that little break, you come back, there's just a removal of like some of the fog that's in your head and the constant sort of training intensity thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, there's a thing to that.
It's real. I mean, Albert Einstein, he was working on relativity, the theory of relativity, couldn't work it out. He's up real late one night. He's like, man, forget this. I'm giving up on it. Like, I can't solve it. Went to bed, slept, woke up the next day. It had coalesced in his brain while he slept because he gave up on it. He let go of it, and it allowed space and consolidation, and then he was able to solve it. And he wasn't active. He didn't come up with the answer actively. He actually gave up on the whole thing, and it came to him.
It's kind of like where you get a lot of your best ideas in the shower, right?
Yeah.
Or when you're on holidays.
You're not thinking.
I always find I start to come up with innovative ideas when I'm away from my regular shit.
I'm taking a week off. Maybe I should do this regularly.
Yeah, man, just stay away. Maybe the week off is I come to work once every 6 weeks. I go to jiu-jitsu. Well, that's basically what I do.
Genius.
There it is, fam. Trending. Thank you. Catch you next week.
You.